The north wind and the sun had a fight about which of them was the stronger. While they were fighting with much heat and bluster, a traveler passed along the road wrapped in a cloak. "Let us agree," said the sun, "that he is the stronger who can strip that traveler of her coat." "Very well," growled the north wind, and at once sent a cold, howling blast against the traveler. With the first gust of wind, the ends of the cloak whipped about the traveler's body, but she immediately wrapped it closer around herself, and the harder the wind blew, the tighter she held it to her. The north wind tore angrily at the cloak, but all his efforts were in vain. Then the sun began to shine. At first his beams were gentle, and in the pleasant warmth after the bitter cold of the north wind, the traveler unfastened her cloak and let it hang loosely from her shoulders. The sun's rays grew warmer and warmer. The woman took off her scarf and mopped her brow. At last, she became so heated that she pulled off her cloak and, to escape the blazing sunshine, threw herself down in the welcome shade of a tree by the roadside. Don't be a bully. Kindness works better than force.
I hope you enjoyed that story that you just got to see. You know, the story of the sun and the wind, that's my favorite. Of all the lessons and all the stories that we're looking at this week, that's my very favorite one. I just think about that so often, how much kindness wins out over being a bully. You know, that wind, he was just trying so hard to get that man to take off his jacket, but he was trying with force. He was trying to make him do what he wanted. And the man didn't want to do it. He just held on to his jacket all the tighter, didn't he? But when the sun, with all of its kindness, just started shining, the man was like, "Oh, I can take this jacket off." Kindness is how the sun got what it wanted. Kindness always wins out over being a bully. Let's see what Solomon says about that. There's a proverb about that. Solomon said in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 29, "Don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder, always spoiling for a fight. Why be a bully? Why not, you say? Because God can't stand it." Wow, that's powerful, isn't it? Don't be a bully. Solomon says God can't stand it when you bully other people. And you think, well, I'm not a bully, I don't do that. But let's think about it a little bit. How does that look? Do you ever push somebody out of line because you were there first and I'm going to be first? Get out of the way. That's kind of being a bully, isn't it? That's not getting to be first because you were kind. Or what about, I wanted that one. I wanted that color, and you grabbed that color because that's the one you wanted first. And you saw it first. That's kind of being a bully, isn't it? Pushing and taking things from someone especially that's smaller than you. God says, I can't stand it when you do that. Be kind. God wants us to be kind to others and to love them. And if there's something that we want, there's a kind way to get it. We can ask nicely. We can wait our turn. That's patience, isn't it? Or we might have to do without for a little while. If that person had it first, don't take it from them. Don't be a bully. God just can't stand it. Solomon says, don't be a bully. God doesn't like it, and it's other people don't either, do they? So if you want friends and you want to have a good time with your friends, practice kindness like the sun.
Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday of Staycation Bible School. Caroline's going to demonstrate how to do Wednesday's craft. So this is the bag with the yellow in it. She's going to show us how to do the craft. She can read the directions, but she's also just going to demonstrate to you how to do this. So there's actually two crafts in today's. She's going to pull out the sandpaper first. And what she's going to do, she's going to also get her additional craft bag. Remember, that's the little baggie. It's got markers in it and that little coronavirus ball and the glue. She's going to pull out the crayons first. And she's going to color a picture on this sandpaper. Now, is sandpaper rough or smooth? It's smooth. It's smooth, right? No! It's rough. It's rough. She's going to draw a picture. And while she's feeling, now I can see that she's pushing pretty hard on there to get a solid line while she's drawing, because sandpaper is abrasive. Just like in our story, that wind was so abrasive. He was rough. He was trying to be rough to get what he wanted. And as you're drawing on this sandpaper, I want you to think about, I don't have to be rough to get what I want. Now, she's just drawing a simple picture, but you know what? You could draw a picture of the story today. You could draw a picture of the wind blowing, or the sun shining, or whatever. As you color on this sandpaper, I want you to think about, you don't have to be rough like sandpaper to get what you want or need. Now, for the second part of craft time today, now you can make your picture as detailed as you want. We're trying to just make it brief for the video. But for the second part of the craft, in your bag, you've got a sun catcher, okay? Yours may not look exactly like Caroline's, but it's a clear cross. Yours might have different shapes on it, or different patterns. She's gonna pull out her permanent markers. You should have 3 colorful ones. You may have different colors in your craft bag. She's got blue and pink and orange. And so she's gonna draw a pattern on her sun catcher. She's gonna color it in with those permanent markers. I'm not gonna film it all the way, but when she finishes, we are gonna hang this sun catcher in a window. And every time I look at it, we're gonna think, you know what? That sunshine from our story was kind. He just gently warmed up the traveler to get him to take off his coat, huh? And so every time I see this sun catcher, I can think about how gentleness usually helps us more than being rough. And that concludes, oh, she's almost done. Look at her. She's a fast colorer. Now you may have a different pattern on your sun catcher, so it may take you a little bit longer, and that's okay. And I think if she had a couple more minutes, she would probably be a little bit more deliberate. But she's going to hold this up and show us what it looks like. And we're going to put this in the window. Ta-da! You want to hold it up on that white paper so you can see the pattern? Ta-da! There we go. Yeah, isn't that pretty? So cute. Alrighty. Hey, happy Wednesday! And you know what else I'm going to do? Caroline's going to also clean up before she finishes. Have a great Wednesday, guys. Hope you had a great day of Staycation Bible School. Make sure you send in those pictures of your experiment today. I loved this story today. Miss Kathy said it was her favorite. I like it. I actually had never heard this story until this year when Miss Kathy and I and the other team for children's ministry were talking about Aesop's Fables. So I loved this story. And it's so true, isn't it? That there's always a kinder way to get what you want. You don't have to be abrasive. You saw how Caroline did her craft on the sandpaper. It's so abrasive. You don't have to be like that to get what you want. And so that verse today says, don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder, always spoiling for a fight. Don't try to be like those who shoulder their way through life. Now, shouldering your way through life means you're pushing through like this, like a bully. Why be a bully? Why not, you say? Because God can't stand it. The Lord detests the perverse, but takes the upright into his confidence. That's what the NIV says. Those are big words that say God can't stand people who are bullies all the time, the wicked. So Bethany and Kayla Rogers acted out that story so wonderfully. You also had 2 crafts, so that was exciting. This little sun catcher, which is going to go in my window when I get home, actually. And then for snack time today, we have some popcorn. Now, this is an individual size. It says mini bag. Okay, so remember that. So if I were you, when you're popping this popcorn, you want to listen to it, because microwave popcorn usually takes, 3 minutes-ish, somewhere in there. But this one, it takes less than that. So I think it only takes about 1.5 minutes. Be listening. So it's going to go pop, 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 and then it's going to go pop, 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 and then it's going to slow down. And it's going to go pop, pop, pop. When it slows down like that, that's when it's done. You can burn it. So littles, make sure you ask your parents for help with this. Parents, word of the wise, it doesn't take very long. I can't tell you how many of these things I've burned. Anyway, so that's our snack. And the reason I want you to think about this is think about how good it is to have a nice hot snack. That wind was so, or that wind was so rough and abrasive, but that sun was just so gentle and so warm and so nice. Now, some of you guys, I know you're thinking, yeah, the South, we live in Arkansas, Miss Sharon. That sun is not nice. he's mean. It's true. Our sun, it is hot down here, but that's all right. You get the point. You don't have to be rough though, like the wind. Okay, so that's the snack. And then for the game today, if you're playing with this with a group of people, everybody's going to get the same amount of layers of clothes. Okay, so like extra socks, mittens, a scarf, t-shirts, whatever, jackets. Everybody gets the same amount of extra layers. So like when I play this at my house, I'll probably have everybody get 5 extra things to put on. Okay, if you're playing this just by yourself, you can get however many you want. Okay, you might get 10 extra things, but whatever, and see how quickly you can put on all those layers of clothes. So it's kind of like a kind of a race, but not super, like we don't have to be mean or ugly about it, right? We can have a good spirit. And then see who can take them off the fastest and put them away. That's what we're going to do at my house. So I'm going to have everybody gather 5 things because I have 4 kids, and plus I'll have probably some neighborhood kids at my house. We're going to have 5 things: socks, a t-shirt, maybe a blazer, a scarf, and maybe some mittens or a hat or something. And we're going to all have them down there. I'm going to say, ready, set, go. And we're going to see who can get dressed the fastest. It's hot outside, so you wouldn't want to keep all those on for very long if you're playing outside. And then put them away. And don't be a bad sport, right? We want to be good sports. And then the extra experiment today, you've got 2 things. You've got a vial of vinegar and you got a vial of honey. Have you ever heard that phrase? You can attract more flies with honey. All that means is it's more attractive to be sweet like honey than it is to be bitter and sour like vinegar. It does not taste very good. Vinegar does not taste very good all by itself. You have to add other things to it to make it taste good. But honey is really sweet. So what you're going to do for this experiment today, you're going to test out that phrase, right? Is that really true? Can you really get more flies? Can you really attract more flies with honey than with vinegar? So what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 plates, okay, or both, or whatever your mom lets you use. And in one plate, you're going to cut open this honey and you're going to squeeze it out on your plate and set it outside, not inside, outside. And then you're going to use this other plate and you're going to pour out your vinegar on this plate and set it outside and leave it alone for a little bit. And when you go back to it in like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, which one has more flies or bugs next to it? Do you have a hypothesis already? A guess? Which one is more attractive, the honey or the vinegar? And this is just white vinegar, which is different than apple cider vinegar. So as you are working through this lesson, I want you to remember, God hates bullies. He hates it when we're ugly and mean, when we use our words to tear people down. He likes it when we use kind words to build up. We have a verse that we say all the time at my house. A harsh word stirs up anger, but a kind word turns away wrath. I probably say that once a day at least. And all that means is don't be a bully with your words. Kindness turns away wrath. Don't stir up anger, turn it away. So next time you're tempted to be mean to get what you want, remember, take a deep breath and think of a kinder way. There's always a kind way to express what you need or how you feel. Hey, I hope you had a great day. Happy Wednesday.